Hey, what's up, folks? Chef Jesse, how's everybody doing today on this Sunday afternoon, right? Oh, yeah, afternoon, whatever. Anyway, folks, what? The sun is beating into my window. Anyway, folks, today we're gonna be having some. We're gonna be making some barbecue ribs, and we're gonna make some mac and cheese, and we're gonna make a let's see what else, corn on the cob. Very simple, right? And we're gonna have maybe a biscuit, some biscuits. And very simple. I'm going to be making this barbecue. I'm going to be cooking the ribs at about 350 for about maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours. It depends. And then I'm going to show you how it comes up. But let me show you how they look. I've seasoned this since last night. And let's. Okay. So there it goes. There goes the ribs. Yeah. And nice rack of ribs. And I seasoned this. You can see the seasoning in there. And I seasoned it last night. And I actually seasoned it with this this new marinade. I'll show you. It's made by a company Loray's hickory brown sugar, and it's a marinade. It marinates in 15 minutes. I marinated this last night with some garlic powder and salt, pepper, and all that stuff. But then today I added this in, and I added this about maybe 2 hours ago, and I let it marinate in it. And now I'm gonna cook the ribs. So I set my preheated oven. I preheated my oven to 350. And the oven is nice and hot, and it's been preheating for about a half hour. And I'm gonna cover these up real nice and tight because I want them to cook with the steam. Okay, I want them to really cook up using the steam. So that's the trick of it that I use. I put this whole thing in there, and I'm really tight, right? And it cooks with the steam, and it softens up the meat and everything. And then later on, I will cover it, and then I'll add the barbecue sauce, and I'm gonna use some honey in it, and all that good stuff. And then we're gonna cook it. We're gonna cook it for a little more while, and then let it get those nice colors. Okay, so stay tuned. So, folks, I'm gonna turn on my pot, and I'm going to start warming up my water so that I can boil my pasta for the mac and cheese. I'm using large elbows, number 74 from Ronzoni. This is my favorite company. I grew up with Ronzoni. My mother always bought Ronzoni. So this is a 16-ounce package. The recipe calls for 14 ounce, so I'll take a little bit out. I don't know. I don't know how weigh it, but I'll take a few out. But I'm gonna cook this box when the water's now. I just started up the water. Water's starting to boil, and then I'm gonna throw this in, and then I'm gonna prepare my cheese sauce. That's gonna go into the mac and cheese, and then it's gonna be whipped around, and it's gonna be put into a pan, and then it's gonna be put into the oven to bake. So stay tuned. So first of all, let me tell you something. There's about 1 million ways to make macaroni and cheese. Some people make terrific macaroni and cheese. Some people make terrible mac and cheese. Some people make good mac and cheese. Some people make, I mean, it's endless. The ways people make macaroni and cheese. People make it out of a box. I don't know. But I do it a couple times. I always like to try the different recipes until I find the right one. So this is a recipe that I got for a while, and it's easy bake macaroni and cheese. And this is for people who, if you don't really into mac and cheese and you don't have time and you just don't know how to make mac and cheese. This is very simple made mac and cheese, and it's for the average person. So I'm going to show you how to make it. It's easy. So first of all, this recipe calls for 3 types of cheese. Cheddar cheese, Gruyere cheese, and mozzarella. I didn't find no Gruyere cheese in my supermarket because it's a cheap supermarket. So what I do, I replaced it with Asiago and Quesadilla and Monterey Jack. So I'm using basically 3 types of cheese. So I put it into a bowl. Let me just show you. Okay, you see that? I put it into a bowl, and I'm just gonna mix the mixture around. Okay, it's got 3 types of cheese in here. Okay, and I'm gonna mix it around. Okay, and what is this? A big piece of cheese that I didn't cut. Well, okay, unbelievable. So what I'm using here is I used a cup of cheddar cheese, 3/4 of a cup of mozzarella, and 3/4 of a cup of the Monterey Jack cheese, and yeah, that's it. So now I'm going to prepare my cheese sauce, which is going to go over my macaroni and my regular cheese too. So stay tuned. Wait a minute. Okay, folks, so my water is finally boiling, and I'm going to put in my Ronzoni pasta in it now. I'm going to cook this al dente, and al dente would be about 6 minutes. You want it, not firm. Well, you want it to be al dente before it becomes firm. You know what I mean? Dente firm. Anyway, I'm going to drop this into the pot. I added one tablespoon of salt to the water already. So, okay. So now I'm gonna start making my cheese sauce. Let me just move this around because the pasta's gonna get stuck in there. Okay. So while my pasta's gonna be taking about 6 minutes. Let me set my timer. I like to cook on a timer. So anyway, let me show you what I'm gonna do with the rest of this stuff. I'm gonna make the cheese sauce. Okay. So let me try to point this down here. You see the pot? Okay, you can see it, right? I hope you can see it. Okay, there you go. Okay, so let me turn on my pot. I can't even know if it's on or off because I can't see it. Because the sun is shining in my window. Okay, so I'm gonna warm that up for a second, and I'm gonna put 4 tablespoons of butter. Let me get my butter out of the fridge. Okay. So 4 tablespoons of butter, and we're gonna melt that butter in there. Okay, let me get my whisk. Okay, so we're gonna melt the butter. Okay, this pot is about had it. I need another one. So you gotta give me likes on this show so that I can get money and afford a set of pots. Anyway, folks, just joking. I'm gonna melt that butter and then I'm gonna put the other ingredients in. Okay, so my butter is just about melted. The 4 tablespoons of butter. Now I'm going to start to add my flour. I have about half a cup of flour here, and I'm going to put a little bit at a time because I just want it to get a little bit sticky. There you go, a little bit thick. Thick was the word. Okay, so you see how this is thickening up already. Let me raise the okay. So I used. Let me give you some more. So about a quarter cup of flour, and you can see. I hope you can see this. It's nice and thick. See. You can see the thickening up, okay? So while I do that, keep stirring it. You don't want it to lump up or anything like that. Now I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of I'm going to add 4 cups of butter 4 cups of milk. I'm going to slowly put it in there. I'm going to whisk it, okay? So that's 2 cups of milk in here. Just whisk it around, okay? And I'm going to bring that to a boil. And as I'm mixing, I'm going to add another 2 cups. So 4 cups of milk all together. Okay? 4 cups. 4 cups of milk. Okay. So we're going to mix that around, make sure that it thickens up. And then let me make sure my pasta doesn't get stuck here. Okay, my pasta should be done in about 6 minutes. I just set the timer. I just want to move it around here, don't get it stuck. I hate that. I hate that when it happens. Okay, so I'm gonna bring the milk up to a boil, and then I'm gonna throw the cheese in there and everything else. Actually, I'm gonna do that now. I'm gonna add 1 tablespoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of garlic powder, a half a teaspoon of black pepper, 1 tablespoon of paprika, okay, and mix that up in there, okay? So mix all that up in there. There you go. Just make sure everything's all mixed up in there, okay? There you go. And then we're gonna bring this to a boil, and then we're gonna add the cheese. So stay tuned. So folks, my pasta is done. It's 6 minutes al dente, and my cheese sauce, I'm making it right now. So give me a minute to put this. Let me drain the pasta. Okay, so folks, my milk mixture here is almost done. I'm mixing it up. It's starting to thicken up, and I'm gonna add the cheese to it in a few minutes. Watch. So you can see it's thickening up. Make sure that you don't overboil it. Okay. So when it starts to boil and come up, you gotta shut it off right away. So it's almost done. Actually, it is done. It's starting to boil over. Well, almost. Okay, I'm gonna shut this off, and I'm gonna take it off the heat, and then you're gonna see how I'm gonna do this. Okay. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna first stir in half of the mixture of cheese, or 3/4 of mixture. There you go. Okay. And now I'm gonna mix the cheese in there. Okay. There you go. Look at that. Look at that. Oh man. Okay. So and you can smell the cheese. It's melting in there. I mean, it melted right away. Look at that. Okay. Let me add some more cheese in here. Okay. There you go. So add the cheese slowly and mix. Okay. And there goes your mixture. Look at that. It's getting thick. Look at that. I got my macaroni, the pasta ready, and I'm gonna dump it in here. Okay. And it looks like it's good. So there goes my pasta. And I'm gonna slowly put my pasta in there. Oops. It's got a, this pot is pretty small. Oh, I should have used the other pot, but anyway. Oh, we'll get it there. Let's mix this up in there. Okay. Let's mix this up in there very. Okay, there you go. Yep. Look at that. Okay, mix it up. I'm gonna put some more in there. Okay, let's see how much I can fit in here. Okay, that should be good. Okay, and just mix it very well. There you go. If you got a bigger pan, I had a bigger pan, but I should have used a bigger pan. But anyway, I'm not gonna use it. Too late now. And let me try this out. Let me try one of these things out. Tastes good. Tastes very good. Okay, so now let's put this in the pan. Let's put this in this pan here. Okay, very carefully. There you go. Carefully pour it into the pan. Again, I should have used a bigger pan, but hey, there we go. Hopefully this whole thing fits in here. It seems like it fits. Spread it around good. Mash it down. Hey, maybe I can fit a little bit more. Yeah, we'll fit a little bit more. Yeah, we're gonna fit a little bit more. We're gonna make it. We're gonna make it. Let this spread out. Okay. So there it goes. Let me get a little bit more. There we go. Spread it out. Spread it out. Pack it down. Okay. So I think I got most of it in there, right? Okay. Now the remainder of the cheese, I'm going to put some of the remainder of the cheese I got here. Let me just get some of this cheddar cheese in there, and the mozzarella, and then we're gonna put it on top, and that's it. We're gonna mix it up, and it should be good. Okay. So put some of this over it here like this. There we go. Now, like I said, there's 1,001 ways to make mac and cheese. You probably have an old recipe from your grandmother, your mother, your aunt. But this is a quick mac and cheese for those who don't want to go through all the trouble or just don't know how to make mac and cheese. Well, now if you watch my video, you'll see. Okay. So I'm going to bake this uncovered, of course. And I'm going to put it at 360 in the oven for about 20 to 25 minutes, okay? 20 to 25 minutes at 360. So folks, my ribs have been cooking for about an hour, and now I'm going to check them and see how they look. If they look like they're done, halfway done, and then I'm going to put the barbecue sauce in and everything else, and then I'm going to cook it for maybe another half hour or so, so stay tuned. So yeah folks, so it looks like it's halfway done there. The ribs are actually, the meat is lifting up and it's coming off, like starting to look like it's coming off the bone for some reason. But I guess, I don't know. I'm not a... There you go. Okay, so you can see it right now. So this is what it looks like. You can see this here, this bone is coming out, this bone is coming out. And over here the meat is lifting up and it's coming sort of ripping off and lifting up and stuff. But it looks like this is done, or at least halfway done. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the barbecue sauce on it and then I'm gonna let it cook in there for a little while, okay? Then I'm gonna put it under the broiler to get a nice charred color. So folks, I just put the barbecue sauce in it. I put some honey on with the barbecue sauce, and now I'm gonna cook this for about maybe let's set the timer. We're gonna set the timer for give it 20 minutes, and then 20 minutes, and then we're gonna take it out, check it, and then see what happens next. So folks, my ribs are almost done. My mac and cheese is done. Now I'm gonna start boiling water to put my corn on the cob in there, and dinner should be done. You know, I don't know if we're gonna eat early, I don't know, but dinner's almost done. So anyway, folks, with that said, watch part 2 of this video, part 2, because I don't want to run this video too long. So please watch part 2. Part 1 is the preparation of the ribs, the mac and cheese, how to make the mac and cheese and all that kind of stuff. Step by step, I show you how to make the mac and cheese. And now in part 2, I'll show you how everything came out. So stay tuned.